जी जी
Mr. Mohammed Faiyazuddin joined my program and cleared PMP. Now, this is something that I am extremely proud about. Like, I still remember the day one, and actually, it was the program date. He filled my marketing on LinkedIn. I called him, and when we talked, I told him, okay, join the program, and he shared with his concerns that he is busy and multiple other things. And I told him, don't worry about that. I'll make sure that you become certified PMP. And just to give the context, he's general manager MEP at Fujairah National Construction, the senior professional, the a lot of experience. I would say 25, 26 years of experience. Sir, I want to share something. The the year you started graduation, your degree, the year it was the year I was born, 1989. So it is privilege to help you in becoming certified PMPs. It's extremely privileged for me. Ji sir,
yeah
yes, please.
yeah. Thank you very much for this introduction, and I'm actually very pleased, and Alhamdulillah, it's been a very good journey, and I cannot thank you enough for what you have done in terms of supporting me throughout this journey. And there's obviously a lot to share, and hopefully I can help a few others along as well.
Yes, sir, please share it. I would love to know.
Well, I think as you said, we it was an instinctive decision to take up this PMP program. I was on the LinkedIn, like you said, and I clicked the ad that you had posted on the LinkedIn, and that's about it. And there was no prior research to about where I should take the course, or whether I should take one. Yes, I had that in mind some time back, and I said let's start. And the moment we had that call, the first call, I felt that I should go ahead a- and uh, and be part of your program the same day itself. Although I was busy, but then you told me a few things, and you said I'll help you along. You just join, and the rest is as they say, it's history. And Alhamdulillah, a lot of support which I got from you. And as I said, this the few things that I have uh, learned, being senior is one thing, but obviously, like we have an analogy in we let's say we've been we come from countries like Pakistan, India, and others, where you know how to drive the car, but obviously when you come here to Dubai, obviously there is this different a different style of driving, and so you need to know how you need to drive the car here. That's what it is in being PMP, or going through this PMP program is just like that. Yes, I've been into construction for last 25 years, but you know um, you need to obviously familiarize yourselves, and with the PMP terminologies, and so many other processes. We've been doing that, all these years, but it's a journey which I think every construction professional should undertake, and should go through this to become a good project management professional.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing that in a detail. And I really loved what you said, that you will basically every professional should work into that, and we need to work into that positive. That's a very beautiful thing. You said it, and specifically when you are at your height of your profession, like many of my students, they start when they are at the start of the profession or mid of the profession, but you are at the height of the profession. Consider as, like, I guess the biggest position after this will be VP or CEO. You are already general manager and working at a very highest position. And I just want to add something. I am enjoying your biscuits. The biscuits that you brought me, I am loving it and looking forward to maybe have a lunch or dinner sometime with you in the coming future. Let's talk about the PMP exam now. Sir, PMP exam are very challenging when it comes to time. How did you manage time in the exam?
Well, yes, that was a difficult part, I should say. I mean, although we kind of worked together and you gave a lot of coaching, and there was a lot of discussions, and you had guided me as to how we should do the first part and the second part and the third part. When it comes to my own exam, I think I've kind of, tried to follow it, but I think I skipped, rather slipped the timelines, and I could finish the first session, I think, in 100 minutes, and the rest in 75 and 55, something like that. So that, going forward, I think I should, in fact, I must emphasize that all those aspirants, follow strictly that 80, 75, 75 principle, because that way you will not be stressed out. I think I put myself under stress when I finished that first session in 100 minutes. So
Hmm.
you do not go through that route of exceeding 80 minutes for the first session. Um, uh, I am obviously, yes, in terms of time management. Uh, in the second and third, I had to use those techniques, reading the last line, and in some certain instances, you can actually figure out what it's being talked about or assessed, and you can actually make out, not in all these instances, but in certain instances you can read actually the question, and then read the options given below, and then you can make out. So I had to use that, because, as I said, I put myself under stress, having consumed a lot of minutes for the first session.
Hmm.
So that is one thing, and obviously the other things like eliminating, any elimination technique is very, very, very important.
Hmm.
And sometimes you tend to think a lot. I think that should be eliminated. You go with your first instinct, and proceed. Do
That's
not
what I said.
do not
That's what I said to you the day before.
Yeah.
But it is
Yes,
what it is.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Sir,
Yeah.
the first section, was it more difficult, or it was more of a, since the clock was ticking and you were getting panic for that? So what was the reason basically? What would you say?
I would not say that it was difficult. I think you know, it, again, probably, um, you know, as I do not know exactly what has happened, but I think I kind of took a lot of time. I wanted to maybe
That perfectionism
do it correctly.
that I
Yeah,
always
do
used
it.
to say, that
Yeah,
don't try to be perfect. It's PMP, it's
yeah.
not construction sites. You don't 70% is good enough. That was the problem.
Yeah, I think that is the. I agree. That was the problem, and I think that should not be repeated.
Okay.
That is something that
But
we
you are a certified
all
PMP. Why
shouldn't.
you have to repeat anything? Okay, sir. Putting that into the context, okay, which area was more dominant in the exam?
I think it will be difficult for me to pinpoint one particular area, but like you say, it's all agile, hybrid, and team and communication and stakeholder. I think has kind of been the majority. I would say that's all these questions have been hovering around these issues only, these
Hmm.
areas,
Hmm.
with certain, obviously, with the risk, and some in, I think, quality, and some in procurement. um, there were a couple of drag and drop questions. I did not see any formula questions, although we kind of had gone through it, but I did not have to use calculator at all. In fact, I did not see any numerical or questions or at all. Uh,
No numerical or formula question. That is always good to know that it was the exam was same as we were expecting, and this was the expectation that we were having. There will be no numerical question, as I said to you, no critical path question. Every time the student asks, "Will there be critical path?" I always say no, and they only trust me when they actually clear the exam. Okay, sir. Thank you very much,
yeah,
sir.
that's yeah. There are a few things that I want to say, if you allow me to. Obviously,
Please.
I think the first, going back to that first call that we had, I said I don't know much about PMP except that I heard about PMP, and I do not know the course content, the examination content, and you categorically said, in fact, you made it mandatory that I don't read any books. You know that I did not actually read any book at all. In fact, just followed what uh, what you have taught me, given me slides and videos and all those short videos, and the coaching calls have helped me. And I think I like the way you've kind of taught me or mentored
Sometime
me.
I get hard.
You
Sometime I get hard.
Yeah, no, but that's fine. That's fine. And as I said, you make it very simple. And in fact, I think you strictly follow agile principles. You have one of those principles like maintain simplicity. Keep it simple. Stupid. That. you know. So you don't want you want people to focus on things, and mm, you don't want them to go overboard with a lot of other stuff that is not probably essential at this point in time. As you said, I remember you said you can actually read those books and other content after the exam, but for the
Now you can
preparation of the
now
exam
now
you
you
don't
can
need.
download the Pimbook 7th, which is a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, now you can
yeah.
download and
I
read it.
did download it today. I did download it today, and I think the agile and the principles and the servant leadership, and sometimes you have that theory X mentality as well. I guess all those things are embedded in you, and I truly admire your skills. And you also use emotional intelligence, social skills when you work with so many people. Hats off to you. Believe me, I know. I For example, I've listened to a lot of coaching calls. I know that you have said you follow with some on a one-on-one basis, on a daily basis, and some you actually know how to handle certain other people as well. And I think that's very very important, and I truly appreciate the way
Thank you.
you have taken me here.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Um,
Thank you, sir.
and one more thing which
Yeah,
I want to tell you, in fact, as I said, I remember this is the last point, and I hope
yeah, yeah,
uh,
sure, sure.
the RCAs which I remember, doing the root cause analysis, and I was
Uh-huh.
not doing it actually. I was going through your sessions, the training, the first sessions, and then the video calls, and I was doing the mocks. I was not doing RCA, and I remember you said do RC and then let's talk about it. And I had to, obviously it's a painful exercise. I mean, painful is in a sense that it is a
Long
time
exercise. It takes
consuming
time.
exercise.
It takes time,
But
and
but
it's a
I
long.
think I must emphasize, and I know that you say this enough in your coaching calls, in your sessions. But now that I'm sort of certified, I've gone through that. I take this opportunity to again say the same thing. It's probably the only way that you can reinforce your concepts, because you are actually you're reading, or you're listening, or you're watching the videos. The only time you actually read, or sorry, write, is when you do an RCA, or
Mm.
when you do that. So again, we all know how important is writing in the learning process. So that way, I think it has helped me. And again, I must again, repeating the same thing, emphasize that everybody does that root cause analysis as well. as part of their learning process.
Okay, thank you, Faisal. It was great honor and for me especially to work with you. And thank you very much for the and I wish you all the best of luck and for all the world. And thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.